Welcome back for the Mobile Gaming Fanatics. I'm MyTyme, this is Top Charge. We have a lot to cram into today's video, and first of all, you just saw from that introduction, yes it is from a few days ago, but the 959 prelims, I did manage to get that carbon fibre pack, and I was lucky enough to get the beautiful Bentley Continental 24 from that. It looks absolutely amazing in the matte black with the red features to it. Yes, I think most cars in matte colours do look pretty awesome. It is a low ground clearance car, unfortunately, which if it was a medium, I think I would be working on this car straight away to max out. However, it kind of isn't an amazing legendary, but Bentley events, UK events, etc., there are quite a lot of them, so it's going to be something worth building in the future. Really happy to get that. And before everyone goes into the comment section and says, well, how lucky are you? You know, they bemoan my luck. Yes, I hold my hands up. I hold them up high, and I admit I was lucky to get this car. However, please do not forget that I got pure unadulterated filth from 30 ceramic packs. Yes, 30. I didn't even get a single ultra rare. So it is swings and roundabouts. If you stick the course, I believe it does level out over time. Maybe this was kind of a way of leveling that out. I don't know. But what I do know is I was extremely happy to get it. So let's get into the meat and veg of today's video. There's a few things to go over, and one of those is going to be the changes coming to the game. You can see from here the European Revolution is going to be released on Monday, so very soon. You can see the notes, the patch notes, etc. from this bit in the game, or by going to the Hutch forum. Now, I'm not going to go through everything here. What you can see is that our new brands coming. We have got Koenigsegg, Rimac, the Tommaso Spiker, for example, coming to the game, as well as an, should we say, extension to both Volvo and Peugeot. Now, there's nothing for some of the more established brands. There's European Revolution, so BMW, for example, these kind of things where people were hoping to get some more cars to, hasn't happened yet. Possibly in the future, not at the moment. They have also said that they are going to be improving the rest of the world tag, so I'm guessing some of these are going to fall under that category. Now we're getting 120 new cars, okay? That is a lot of cars to add to the already extensive list. There's going to be over 2,000 cars, but some of these cars, especially with brands like Koenigsegg, are going to be hyper performance cars, okay? They're going to be legendary. It's going to be a little bit like the McLaren tag. So don't expect to get all of these cars soon, and also don't expect there to be events using all these brands, because some of them are going to be extremely hard to get. Now, with that said, there are a lot of new features coming in and bug changes. You can see these, you can scroll through it yourself, you can check what they are, and the main other thing coming in this patch here is car corrections and rarity changes. Now, I'm not going to go over all the car corrections. I'm going to say there's an extensive list of car corrections, and it's going to impact which cars you work on in the future and which cars you're going to be potentially fusing or now keeping. There's also some rarity changes, and I will go over the rarity changes briefly just to show people who are newer to the game what you're going to potentially do. Okay, so some of the cars that are going up in rarity include a car like, let's just do country, it's easier, like this Land Rover Defender. Okay, so the Land Rover Defender and the Land Rover Defender, or the Land Rover Series 1, which is a common car, are both going up in rarity. So this goes up to super rare, Series 1 goes up to uncommon. Now, I have been working on my Defenders. I have got 5 maxed out now. I've done that because, if you can see here, the selling value is just under 15,000. If I were to go and put in a super rare max, it's just under 24,000. okay, so it has a bigger value attached to it as a super rare card than it does as an uncommon car. On top of that, excuse me for clicking out, on top of that, it also costs less to upgrade. Okay, it's cheaper to upgrade an uncommon card than a super rare car. So if you have any of these cars and you want to build them and they're going up in rarity, build them now. Okay, there are a few others. I will show you the uncommon ones which are going up in rarity. We have, if we go into Talon, we've got the Lancer Delta. I'm working on this one now. You want to max these out because they will cost more to upgrade as rare cars. That is going up in rarity. Also going up in rarity, if we go to Japan, I only have one of these, but it's the Mazda 6. Okay, another car, which the idea is max it out using common cars. Much cheaper, much cheaper than when it goes up to super rare. And finally but not least, there's also a German car, and that is the Porsche 924. So I have one already maxed out. I'm working and leaving this one. I'm working on this one. I decided I'll max 2 of them out, and I'm going to keep the other one. I'm keeping it for now because what I'm going to end up doing is I need to get some more fuse cars actually. Okay, yeah, what I'm going to do is I need to get fuse cars to max this one out, but I'm going to keep this car because as it goes up to a super rare, I can sell it for 1,000 for example, rather than 250. If I'm going to sell the car, I might as well get more cash from it. So those cars going up, they're the main ones. There are a couple of other cars. There's a Lotus prize car, which I'm not going to go over because don't believe it's been released yet, which is going from epic to legendary. And there's also the Ford Fiesta 1.0 going up from common to uncommon. Now, whatever goes up means some things must come down, and unfortunately something is on the way down, and I will show you from my garage what it is and the impact that that's going to have. So the Range Rover Evoque is dropping. This is going from 51 RQ to 49 RQ, so it's going to be the top end of super rare, but it is dropping rarity. Well, what does that mean? Well, if you're going to keep this car, and I intend to keep this car, it means you do not want to work on it at the moment. You want to leave it, you want it to drop down into the super rare, then work on it, because it's going to be a lot cheaper for the upgrades, and also you can use rare cars. At the moment I have to use super rare cars to fuse into this. However, if you have multiples of these, or you do not want to build a car, you now want to go find an epic car that you want to work on, and you want to go straight in there and you want to upgrade it and throw in your car. Okay, now I don't have mine unlocked, but if I did, I'd be putting, for example, my Evoque in here along with 2 other cars and using it as an upgrade before it drops down to super rare. Very important, guys. Most of you, the times video is going to go up, probably have 24 hours or less to go through, check if you have any of these cars and make those changes before they drop in rarity. Once it goes down to super rare, it loses an extreme amount of value. Obviously ultra rares are harder to get. Now there are a few other cars. There's a Pontiac G8 which is going down from epic all the way down to ultra rare. I've fused it in the past, okay, I don't have one now. And there's also the BMW M1 Pro car going from legendary down to epic. I don't have that car to show you in my garage. I do have, however, a few super rare cars that are going down in rarity, and let me show you what that means. Okay, so this Chevrolet Camaro IROC, it is dropping super rare. Now I've never built this, okay, I've never built this car. I've had it a few times. However, I will probably keep it and build it as a super rare because it is a medium ground clearance. I might find myself using it more in the future as a result. However, if I wasn't going to use this car, I'll be doing the same process. I'll be going to find an ultra rare that I wanted to work on, okay? Find an ultra rare I want to work on, go in, find my Camaro, where are you? It's going to be along here somewhere, and it would be being used as a fuse car, okay? I wouldn't sell it because I don't think the cash you get for super rares is too great. I would fuse it. Find a car I want to work on, get it fused. Obviously, if I want to keep the car, lock it, wait for it to drop down in rarity, and then work on it. Now there are also a few more cars. Let me show you. I'll do it through country again. There's a couple of Italian cars. If we scroll along, a couple of Fiats in fact. So we have the Fiat 695 as well as the Fiat Simca 1300. Both are dropping down to rares. The 695 is also going down from medium to low ground clearance. technically this is a car that I would be fusing away now, except for the fact that I'm going to be working on Italian cars, and I want to make sure that I have a greater selection of Italian cars after UK cars for my garage. So I'm going to keep both of them and work on them because they are dropping down in rarities. Other cars doing the same thing include the Renault 3.5, which is a rare, going to uncommon, the Peugeot 407 Coupe going to uncommon, and the Renault Wind going to uncommon. And then you also have the Chevrolet Monte Carlo SS going from uncommon to common, and the Buick Roadmaster Skylark going from uncommon to common. Okay, so they are changes in rarity. There are also going to be quite a few changes in cars 0 to 60s and ground clearance. The Alfa Romeo 147 GTA is going to become a medium ground clearance. Suddenly, this car was decent beforehand, it now becomes great. And for 43 RQ, having 165 top speed, 4.90 to 60 and 89 handling with medium ground clearance means if we scroll up and we look at cars like the Quattroporte diesel, it's going to be a better car than this. I know this is only Italian cars, so ignore that. But if we come up to, I don't have many others, that if we take the filter off here and we remove just Italian countries, and let's have a look. I'm not going to compare standard tyres because that's probably a little bit unfair, but let's just see what other super rares medium ground clearances I've got which are maxed out, that I can give you an indication to how kind of good this car can be. Standard tyres we can't do. Four-wheel drive, okay, four-wheel drive is handy, but still it's going to be better on the city streets without the rain than the Audi. As we go across, I've got a few more here for sure. We can see the Ford RS, one of the better ones in the 48 RQ. That is 5 RQ less, okay. Got a better 0 to 60, a better top speed, yes, slightly less handling, but I don't know how it's going to compete in city streets. It is going to be close, but it is 5 RQ less. And we can come down and we can look at other cars. It's going to be better than, I'm pretty sure it's going to beat the Megane once that's maxed out. It's going to beat the Mustang, which is kind of a decent city streets car for it. It's RQ. You kind of get the idea. You see what I'm trying to say? It's going to become a pretty useful car. So for people beforehand who are thinking of getting rid of it, they may now be thinking, no, let me hold on to it. Conversely, what goes up must also come down, and unfortunately there are a couple of classic cars coming down, one of them being the Honda Civic Type R. This is one of the first, if not the first ultra rare hatch that I maxed out. In fact, it was one of my first cars that I worked on. 598 days. I've had this for one of the OGs in my garage. That's going from medium down to low ground clearance. How useful is this car going to be after that? I don't know. It'll probably still be useful in Japanese events, but along with the BMW 440i, this is coming down to low ground clearance, and this is a bigger impact to me than the Honda, because this car was great for city streets. 89 handling's decent, 3.70 to 60 lovely, but it was a great German car for city streets events. Now, with it not being useful in city streets, I kind of look at it and think, well, you know, we've got the Jaguar Sportsback over here, for example. Suddenly this car becomes so much more valuable than the BMW because of having that medium city streets tag. Even the Maloo, so much more valuable than the BMW now because of the medium city streets tag. These are not the kind of cars which you're technically going to want to use in slaloms and twisty circuits, etc. They had their value in city streets and potentially, you know, quarter miles if you needed to throw a car in. So will people still be using this car? If you have 2 or 3 of them, would you want to build multiple ones? No, I don't think you would. You may build one, I don't think you would be building more than that. So that's the main things really, up and downs in the cars, the increases, the decreases. You can check them all out for yourself, I said, in the game or on the forum. Now, what should people be doing with this coming out? Well, we don't know when patches are coming out, etc. We know a little bit in advance, but on a normal day, what would you do? When you don't have anything special like Call the Wild, like Silver Screen going, what should you do? Well, personally, my opinion is still pick a country or a brand, manufacturer, depending how specific you want to be, to work on. I pick UK. I still think even with this update, US, UK, German had the most extensive garages that you can build are going to give you the most options of cars, and they have a lot of events evolved around them. So work on one of those. That's your general kind of day-to-day thing. Focus on them. Then also focus on the next finals. And for example, when the 959 Dakar finals were still in the qualifiers and the prelims, it kind of worked out that cars we were going to need were going to be UK cars, okay, because that was part of the parameters. And I can show you a couple of the prices which were here. We're going to be UK cars. We had the Vauxhall Insignia. We also had the Ford Sierra. These cars, okay, four-wheel drive. So as prices, we kind of got an idea that UK four-wheel drive is going to be in the final. Now we had other tags like needing 1960s to 99s, etc. So it can sometimes be difficult to work out exactly what cars could be used in the final, but working on some of these cars will then give you a chance to do better in the final. And doing better in the final gets you the opportunity to get a carbon fibre pack. In this situation, rank 81 to 180 gets you ceramic and an ultra rare, okay? Top 180 to get a guaranteed ultra rare. Top 80 not only for a ceramic pack, but you also get an epic car. Forget the fact that the Mercedes AMG isn't exactly a car that you would probably want in your garage, or one you're going to work on straight away. It is still another fuse car, so it's irrelevant whether you're going to actually go for the top prize or not. You can still get some great prizes below. So if you work on cars for the finals, or cars that potentially you think are going to be used in the final, it has a knock-on effect, because then as you come to, for example, other events, so you may be focusing on German cars, you work on 1 or 2 UK cars for a final, next thing you know, you have a random event come out, and like we just had recently, the Aero Atom was a key car in the, I think it was the prelims, was it? So now that is maxed out for this event. My DB3 was maxed out for an Aston Martin event. I already had the Lotus 340 maxed out from before. I haven't finished off the TVR Typhoon, Chimera, but that's irrelevant. I have got a load of cars here which I can use in this event that I do not need to work on. Okay, I don't need to bother about working on any of these cars. I don't need to spend a single penny of my cash or any of my gold working on any cars to try and get a ceramic pack. I do not think it is worth using your resources to focus on trying to win a ceramic pack. However, I have a chance that I may be able to get top 10, I may be able to get top 30, get some cash, get some renown, get some gold, and move on. But by working on cars for some of the finals, those cars will then be useful in other events, and I don't have to go out of my way to work on other cars. See, price car, which I can just use in the past, maxed out in the past. I'm not now using any of my resources to focus on cars for these events with prices that aren't worth it. So focus on cars that are used in special events or finals, and by special events I mean things like Call of the Wild, Silver Screen. And to give you an example, the Nissan Skyline GTR, I had fused this car away a few times, I think 2 times, maybe 3 times before it was used in the event. Then I maxed it out, and since then, forget its win ratio, I've used it 153 times. So I've obviously used it since. Whether I've done well or not in events that I've used it in, it has now become part of my garage because I maxed it out to get rewards in a different event. So do that. Events which have got good rewards or better rewards, try and max out cars to help you in that, as well as working on your preferred area, and then that will help you build your garage overall. So let's come in and look at the 959 Dakar Finals just to finish this off. I have a chance of the top 20. This is the team I am using. It is UK four-wheel drive non-price cars. I have a couple more I could bring in because there's no off-roaders here. It's kind of focusing on just pure speed and agility. By agility I mean handling. Now I do have I could open some packs. I've worked on this Bentley Flying Spur, okay, mainly because it has a medium ground clearance, and I actually think in the future this car could become more useful because it is medium. I compare it to my others. The Continental GT is a low ground clearance, the Munninger low ground clearance, okay, again the 24 low ground clearance. This Flying Spur here is medium, 4.189. This is going to be a better car, okay. I think the GT is also medium. Oh no, it's not medium. Okay, so as you can see, I don't have too many medium ground clearance cars. Part of the reason I've worked on this Bentley instead. So we'll go into the event. I'll show you a couple of the races and give you an idea of where I think I'm finishing. I have been in the top 10, and to begin with in this event for a long time, people were not facing me. I think it was because when you look at my team and the cars that I have available, it looks menacing. Okay, it does look menacing. When you see legendary cars, etc., you do start to think, do I want to play them? The fact that they're not maxed out is kind of irrelevant. It's just, there's probably teams out there, and this isn't me boasting, that look easier to beat than my team. When you just quickly glance at it, people probably thinking, oh, let me try and avoid that. Now, cars that I'm missing the RS200. Okay, this is a great car, one I really want, and I believe in the update it's becoming a medium ground clearance. This car is a great car. Okay, great car to have. It's a car that I really need for my UK garage. I'm missing this. It's lightweight. This is a car causing me problems in these events. Part of the reason why I was thinking of bringing the Cosworth as well, because it is lighter than all of the Bentleys. However, I think I can get through this event without needing to max it out. But let me just show you here the slalom. Even if I put in a pretty fast car, I'm in trouble. So let me just try and work something out here very quickly. So if we do G-force, let's just do test bowl. I'll show you in the slalom. So who am I going to put in the slalom? Which one of you is lighter? Okay, it's gonna be a better chance here, and we'll just lose this one. Okay, so here we come in. Now this is fine. We win the test bowl. Okay, great, nice start. We then come into the slalom here, and as you're going to see, it's going to be tight. There we go. So a car which it looks like should lose to me, it wins because it is so much lighter, showing that the Ford RS200 is actually a key car in this event, in my opinion. You can see the same here with the Cosworth, same problem, because it's so much lighter. With these twisty events, they are actually far superior. So I now have a decision going into the end of this day, and I probably, I've lost this trying to show you. I have a decision now. I probably should be working on my Ford, because this Ford here, which I'm upgrading at the moment, will help me in the slalom areas, and I would be taking out the Bentayga. It seems to be another one of those events where just having legendary cars doesn't necessarily guarantee you the victory. Okay, so anyone out there, I know this is going to be a little bit late when it comes to actually, you know, being on your YouTube for you to watch, etc. You may only have a few hours left. If you haven't been using cars like the RS200 or the Cosworth for the twisty bits, use them now. Okay, you'll be seeing Bentleys, etc. If you've got them in your deck, do not be afraid to put them up against the Bentleys. You're going to beat the majority of them. Okay, hands down. I can promise you, I have lost a few races like that trying to attack, for example, the slalom. Now, the Insignia's not so much. This is still about 1700, so this isn't such an issue because this car is a lot heavier. You got again up here with the Cosworth RS, a lighter car. Fast circuit, not such an issue. Slalom test, G-force, those kind of cars become really useful. So just for this last one now, I would show you what I would do here. I would probably let the Bentayga go and lose in the quarter mile, because I know I'm going to lose it anyway. Probably just take the defeat on the slalom test, because again I know I'm going to lose. We want to take the victories on these three tracks. So the idea here would be to win these three, take my two defeats, and walk away with my 1 star. Let's just see if that happens. We're going to skip to try and reduce it, end the video. There we go, took our 2 defeats, take the victory. We are back up into 13th, so floating around the top 10. My key now is going to be, do I decide to actually use my gold and forward the upgrading of the 4? I think yes. If it means that I can actually get the Dakar, then I will. However, if you don't care about getting the prize car, then leave it. If I'm guaranteed, I should still be guaranteed unless something drastic happens. Top 40, or at the very worst top 80, which is still a carbon fibre and an epic car. But we will go for it, guys. Okay, I'm going to probably invest a bit of gold, max that out, and see if we can get that Porsche 959. So thank you very much for watching. Sorry this video has been a bit longer. We have some new stuff coming. I will try and bring out a video once the update drops as well, also showing you hopefully the collection of the 959 Dakar Finals. Let me know how you're getting on in that event in the comment section below. If you've enjoyed the video, please don't forget to let me know, and I will see you all later. So take care, everyone.